Ladies and gentlemen, James Orengo yesterday declared his entry officially into the 2027 presidential race in the Luo.
Don't be mistaken. We are not looking for half a loaf. We are looking for the whole loaf.
And that declaration by James Orengo, in my view, is a major political headache for Kalonzo Musyoka and Edwin Sifuna. In this video, I want to explain to you guys why the entry of James Orengo into the presidential race is actually a big political headache for Sifuna and for Kalonzo Musyoka. Before I do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please click that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin this video by asking you this question. Between Edwin Sifuna, James Orengo, Kalonzo Musyoka, and let me add Fred Okingo Matiang'i, who do you think should fly the opposition flag amongst the four? Because for the opposition to defeat William Ruto, one of them. But now allow me to remove Matiang'i from the picture. Let us remain with the three: Sifuna, Orengo, and Kalonzo. Why is the entry of Orengo complicating the equation for Kalonzo and Sifuna?
Sifuna, George Natembea, Ososi, Kane Bonisi, Majimbo Kalasinga, Unity. Leo nawekea hapa timu ile naenda kupambana na hawa jamaa wengine. Sasa kwa unyenyekevu, wacha niite ndugu yangu kijana Power. Amekuwa mumula hapa.
Number one, the winning formation. The entry of Orengo now complicates the equation, because at some point there was a general consensus that the ticket of Sifuna and Kalonzo Musyoka can easily send William Ruto home. And the argument was simple, that if Sifuna is the presidential candidate supported by Kalonzo as the running mate, or Kalonzo Musyoka the presidential candidate supported by Sifuna, you only needed the support of Rigathi Gachagua and Linda Wananchi holding on, then they were going to send William Ruto home. Now with Orengo insisting that he must be on the ballot, because, you know why I'm saying this? Orengo in his speech, he was very clear that a Luo must be a president or must be on the ballot. Now the Luo nation, wherein Linda Wananchi now believes that Orengo is that candidate. Because remember, Babu Owino has been part of Linda Wananchi. But Babu Owino is very clear on what he wants. Babu is saying that for him, he wants to become the governor for Nairobi for one term. And then in 2032, he's going to become the presidential candidate. The presidential candidate, which means Babu Owino is automatically now out of this. Now, tell me how the three will now arrive at the winning formation. Orengo can decide to be the running mate to Kalonzo. What about Sifuna? Or if Orengo decides to run with Sifuna, because Sifuna is junior to Orengo, politically speaking, and even in terms of legal practice, he might say, Orengo is my senior, let me deputize him. Do you think Kalonzo can support that ticket? So it's going to complicate the winning formation. And I keep on saying, that is one of the ways William Ruto will become the president of the Republic of Kenya, if these guys will not agree on a single candidate. And I told you the other day that the NIS is lethal, and they are going to make Orengo very popular. They're going to make him very popular. So that's number one. The winning formation is now complex. Number two, we are talking of James Orengo and the demands. Let's say Orengo will agree that he's not running for the presidency, he's not running for the running mate. What role will Orengo play? That is very important. Why? Orengo, from all indications, is not going to defend his seat in Siaya. That one is something I've been saying here. Orengo will not defend his seat in Siaya. As a matter of fact, probably he's trying to groom the former cabinet secretary, Raphael Tuju, to take over.
Secretary General, katibu mkuu ya ODM ni nani? Kwa sababu Oburu hawezi, sasa Orengo is the acting party leader of ODM. Asante.
So what they demand is Orengo going to place on the table. Because Orengo is senior, you can't ignore him. So if Orengo is going to miss the running mate, is going to miss the presidential ticket, is he going to be the prime cabinet secretary? And do you see where that is a problem? Or how that's a problem? The Matiang'i factor. Because if Orengo was not running for the presidency, it was going to be easy for Matiang'i, Kalonzo, and Sifuna to agree. Now, if he's also in the equation, so we are going to have 4 people. You all agree that Orengo is senior. If anything, ideally, he's going to demand to be the one supported. Let us vote here, especially Kalonzo guys. Can Kalonzo supporters agree to support Orengo if he's picked as the sole candidate for the opposition? I keep on telling you, William Ruto might not be very popular, but the winning formation in the opposition is going to be very tricky, because I even foresee a situation where the courts are going to allow strategically Rigathi Gachagua to run for the presidency. Number 3, there is the ODM equation in 2027 presidential race, both for Ruto side and for the opposition. William Ruto was banking on the support of ODM. Luckily for the opposition, Edwin Sifuna emerged with the Linda Wananchi. And if elections were to be held today, probably Edwin Sifuna and the group might actually go with a huge chunk of ODM, if not more, maybe 40 or 50%. That would be good for them. But now, Orengo has declared himself the ODM party leader. As per the ODM constitution, because I know they're going to break away, he's declared himself the party leader. These other guys have also confirmed that indeed he's the party leader. He's a very lethal legal mind. So which means even if they were to bolt out of ODM and form a new political party, Orengo is going to be the leader. And in that constitution of that their new formation, it's going to be made very clear that the party leader automatically becomes the presidential candidate. And that's how James Orengo is going to become a presidential candidate, the automatic one.
I am the de facto party leader of ODM, and we have a movement within ODM called Linda Wananchi.
Yeah, but you admit that the orange is split.
The orange is...
Now, if Orengo will be declared the automatic presidential candidate, will he allow any other person? If he has not allowed Oburu to take over the ODM party, will he allow any other person? Because remember, it's not the first time Orengo will be running for the presidency. He can tell these people that, for me, I once contested for the presidency. He doesn't need any introduction. So it's going to be a complex maths for these guys.
We are going to fight until we take control of the party.
What exactly is your beef with Oburu Oginga?
No, I don't have a beef with Oburu. It's not a personal thing. What we are saying is that ODM must live true to its founding principles, and it also must live by the Constitution.
And lastly, the negotiating table. I think one of the issues which everybody is agreeing on is that not all these guys will be on the ballot. At least 1 or 2 of them will be on the ballot. But each one of them wants to be part of the negotiating table. Because James Orengo, while making that statement yesterday, he was even very clear that they must be on the negotiating table. And according to Orengo, they now have a vehicle for them to negotiate, which is Linda Wananchi, which means he's ruling out ODM party. So the question is, who will be negotiating on behalf of the other outfit? Will it be Orengo? Will it be Sifuna? Or will it be Babu Owino? And that's where it gets interesting. Orengo will insist on being on that negotiating table. So in ODM, let's say we have Wiper. Wiper will have Kalonzo. In ODM, we are going to have Sifuna and Orengo. And you don't see a problem with that. Ladies and gentlemen, let us wait and see how all this thing is going to unfold. But the truth is, the entry of Orengo into the 2027 presidential race is going to complicate the equation for Kalonzo and for Edwin Sifuna. Let us end with a question. Who benefits if Sifuna, Orengo, and Kalonzo are competing for a ticket? Who benefits? Your answer is as good as mine. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.